Hey, welcome back, guys. Today's video is about sparring footwork and distancing. Some of you may be having trouble when you're doing kumite and you find that you might be in a bad position, or you find that every time that you go to try to strike and get on offense, you just can't really land your moves. So let's go ahead and take a look at different skills that you can develop so that you can improve your kumite. If you watch some of the prior videos, you'll have some more background on it. So if you haven't done that, I encourage you to watch some of the previous kumite videos. So if you've done so, keep watching. One of the problems that I see most common with students is that they'll choose inadvertently to go into a bad position. So although they willingly won't put themselves in a bad position, they unknowingly will do that. And one of the rules that you want to remember when you're sparring is if you are in a bad position, you are essentially putting your opponent in a good position. So if you're able to put your opponent in a tough position, you're going to be in a much better position. Fighting is all about positioning. And the way that we're able to do that is through distancing and footwork, because the feet are what's going to carry our strike to our opponent. So let's go ahead and take a look at some footwork that we can use in order to improve our kumite. So I'm with Bob here. I'm in my fighting stance, and if Bob forces me on defense, I can cut to his backside. So if he's a right-handed fighter like I am, his backside is going to be here, and his front side is going to be here. So I can get to his backside, and then I can hit my counterattack. Just like this. Now, some of you may be asking, what's so important about the backside? Well, if I cut to Bob's front side, Bob, in this case, is right-handed, and you could see that this is going to be his right hand. And I'm going to run in to his strong side. So if I'm going to take a risk, I'm going to make sure that I hedge my bet by going to his weak side. So if he's going to try to hit me from here, he has a chance to hit me with his weak side, and although that may hurt, it's not going to be as effective as if he was going to hit me with his strong side, either his hand or his invisible legs. So watch one more time. I want to avoid moving to the strong side because he can, really put some power on it. So I'm going to go to his weak side here. Just like that. Now we could use any slew of techniques. We could use kicking techniques. The choice is ultimately yours. But the goal in this video is to show you the footwork. So how do we get into position so fast? To the backside. Well, let me show you how I do that. And then I can get back. Notice I'm initiating my movement with the back leg. And that's important because I want to get to my strong side as quickly as possible. I don't want to inadvertently be on my weak side because then my opponent can capitalize on that. And if I'm on my weak side, I'm going to have difficulty striking. I'm going to have even more difficulty blocking because we know as a martial artist, we have to do both offense and defense strategically. Okay? So from here, I'm going to get to my strong side. 1, 2. And then of course I can get back at some point. 1, 2. You could see that it was the back leg that was moving. But common mistakes that I always see with students is that they initiate with their front leg. And while there might be times where you're forced, you don't want to willingly choose it. If you move with that front side, yes, you can get back into position quickly, but it's going to take you a moment to do that. If you have the foresight to get right into your strong side quickly, you have so many options. You have a clear vision as to what you're looking to do, okay? Even potential takedowns. But if you're on that weak side and you're crossed up, it's going to be extraordinarily challenging to make any kind of meaningful technique happen, especially when you're under duress. One of the other problems I see is students will do it to the front side, and that really leads to disaster. Fighters are here. They step this way, they're in a very precarious position on the strong side of their opponent. They're going to be using that strong side leg potentially, the strong side arm, and even if you're aware of blocking, it's going to be very, very tough because you're running into the brunt of somebody's potential attack. So don't willingly put yourself in a bad situation. So with that being said, how does one develop the dexterity to be able to travel wherever they need to move? Well, they have to initiate with that back leg. And here's a trick that you can do. It's not really a trick so much as it's a skill. When you're here, you're going to step forward, 1, 2. And then you're going to step backwards, 1, 2. Just like this. And you can practice that skill because that takes some coordination, guys. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. Just like that. So you practice 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. And that's going to help you with your distancing and with your footwork. The distancing is highly, highly, highly dependent on your footwork, guys. So for those of you that are having trouble offensively and you can't land the kick, it's because your opponent sees that potentially you're winding up, you're telegraphing, you're showing them something that's letting them know to be on defense, to avoid whatever attack is coming at them. And you want to disguise that to the best of your ability. And the way to do that is through disguising your footwork. So you can be here, you can move, and you can set up the distancing so you're at that distance where you can execute your technique the way that you want to. So once again, just to recap, see if you can initiate with that back leg. And you can practice with that drill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. And that's going to help you whether you tend to be on defense, you can get out of the way, or if you're on offense, you can keep pressing, and then you can adjust into your technique here, pushing off that back leg, 1, 2, and closing that distance. So I hope those tips help you guys, and I'll see you next time.